welcome to my channel Notes and Baby, and my name is Ibiwari, but most people know me as the Baby. That's where you see the Baby, and then the notes is the part where I just give out little bits of tips and bits of stuff like that. And in this channel I will be sharing content, relatable content to you. And if you've not watched my previous video, go back and watch my previous video, moving around in Lagos vlog. Now today I'm in my favorite place, which is the bookstore and also where I work. And as you can see, I have a shirt on that says "Ask me how to raise readers," because I help parents raise awesome readers. So today I'm going to be talking about 5, or more like my favorite books. That is my personal books. My favorite books that are hit movies. As you all know, there are a lot of movies out there that we watch and we really love, and then we now find out that they're books and we're like, awesome. Well, I don't know about you, but for me, I find that they're just awesome, and then I now go on and look out for those books. So for me, some of them I did not even know they were actually books, or before I even watched the movie. So I read the book before I watched the movie. But for some, I watched the movie, then went to find the book, and then read the book, and I felt, oh, the book is just much better. But hey, I have 5 books, my personal favorite, and I'm going to share with you. And number 1 is Great Gatsby. I love this book, and why it's number 1 is that the movie, I can watch it over and over and over and over again. It's such a beautiful story. I don't care what critics say about this movie. It's such a beautiful story. It's a beautiful love story, and I'm sorry, it's a beautiful tragic love story. I'm not the typical happy ending kind of girl, but this was just perfect for me. And this book was the movie of this book was made in 2013, and of course the cast was Carey Mulligan, who acted as Daisy, and we had Tobey Maguire as Nick Carraway, and of course my heartthrob Leonardo DiCaprio is Gatsby himself. So this book, now you know why it's number 1. It was really nice, and why I even like it and I put this as number 1 was because everything in this book was replicated in the movie. There was no change. You know, there are some movies that when you see it, when you read the book, you see the changes, there are a whole lot. But in this book, the movie was perfect. So this is my number 1, The Great Gatsby. Number 2 of my favorite books that were hit movies, more like, Memoirs of a Geisha. Another very tragic kind of story. I don't know, I like tragic stories. But another tragic kind of story. I love the storyline, and it was done in 2005. The first time I watched the movie, I didn't really get it, but I think when I read the book, I understood it clearly. And this movie in 2005, the cast, we had Zhang Zi as Chiyo, we had Ken Watanabe as chairman in the book, and of course we had Michelle Yeoh, of course, my favorite, as Miley. So yes, this is another really good book that you should actually try and read if you haven't read it. Believe me, the book, when they say the book is always better than the movie, it is not a lie. And this book explains it all. Oh yes, the whole setting was the post-war Japanese setting of geishas, about a poor girl who was sold into the whole life of as a geisha. So this book is it. Oh, and before, I forgot to tell you, The Great Gatsby. I forgot to mention the story. The Great Gatsby was actually about a young man who hustled his way into wealth, and in all of that he lost his love, which is Daisy Buchanan, who was actually Carey Mulligan, who actually acted as Daisy, and he tried to get her back with all the money he got by throwing expensive and luxurious parties, but to a tragic end. Sad. Dun, dun, dun. So we're moving on. Number 3 for 5 my favorite books as hit movies. 50 Shades of Grey. How naughty. Yes, 50 Shades of Grey. I read this book before the movie even came out. I read this book before the movie, and I remember I was in final year in university when I read it in my hostel, and I was having a lot of shivers. But anyway, I love this book, 50 Shades of Grey. The book, as always, explained more compared to the movie, and it's about the story of Anastasia, who person who played the role was actually Dakota Johnson, and Christian Grey himself, Jamie Dornan, and about a somewhat timid, I would say timid, my own description, a somewhat timid young lady who falls in love with this mysterious guy who has some mysterious sexual preferences. So this is it, 50 Shades of Grey, my number 3 favorite book that was turned into a hit movie. We're moving on to number 4. This is another favorite of mine. Twilight. Another tragic romance again, but this time we're going deep. Okay, we're not looking at sexual preferences here. We're looking at demons, serious demons. Imagine falling in love with a vampire and having a werewolf as a friend. Come on, how toxic can your relationship be? Anyway, I love Twilight. It is so beautiful. I don't care what other people think about it. I love the storyline, and it was created from since 2008 to 2012. Yes, 2008 2012. And the cast: Robert Pattinson was Edward Cullen, and Bella Swan was Kristen Stewart, and of course Jacob Black was Taylor Lautner. Of course, I was always Team Edward. I love the vampire. He was so sleek. Anyway, we're moving to number 5. My last book. This isn't tragic. This is actually a very beautiful movie. And this book was the title of this book is Miley and Me, and the movie was done in 2008. And why I like this, of course, for people who know me so well, the front page has a dog, and I love dogs of all kinds. It has a dog, and it's about this couple who get to deal with this wonderful dog who just makes their life wonderful in the sense that he was just all over the place. He would scatter the whole place. He would poop everywhere. He would chase neighbors. But at the end of the day, he became a major part of the family. And yes, this is one book and movie that you should read and watch over and over again. It's so beautiful. It's meant for the whole family, like unlike the rest of my lists. But anyway, the cast: Jennifer Aniston acted as Jennifer Grogan, and of course the husband to Jennifer Aniston was Owen Wilson, and Owen Wilson was John Grogan. So there you go, my list. 5 of my 5 favorite movies, 5 favorite books that were turned into hit movies. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'm going to put this one as part 1 because I still have a lot. I'm going to do this as part 1, and then I will do part 2, part 3, who knows. But hey, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like. Hey, we're coming up. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment. Thank you so much. Bye.